What's up, Weirdo? Shea Tree Surgeon here, and very excited about the big red thing Shea Lisi has over there, but just as excited because I'm spending the day on the VMAX.
The big blue thing over there.
Rule 34 Sonic over here, the VMAX. 1200 cc's of revenge for Hiroshima over here, given to the American people as a Trojan horse, the VMAX. It handles like a dump truck full of bowling balls, and it does one thing good. It goes real fast in a straight line. Now hand me your key so I can put my stuff up. I need your purse.
Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, how the turntables.
Hell yeah. Not the first time you guys have seen it if you caught the Odin video, but the debut video, I finally replaced Old Faithfuls. Odin gloves, the Baja gloves, these are full leather, and if you saw, they are branded Brapstar. The first collaboration between Odin MFG and Brapstar official, baby. Use the discount code Brapstar10 for, I actually don't know how much it gives you off, but I think it's 10%, I'm not sure.
Oh my god, I love
How easy it is to stand up? That's the thing about Gold Wings. Everything on them makes sense. Just literally an inch difference. But it doesn't feel like it's gonna fall over the other way. I'm telling you, Gold Wings are magic. The VMAX, on the other hand, is definitely practicing the dark arts. Oh, that's right. I forgot this just like stopped working. Yeah, my Insta360 smoked. Definitely on two very different bikes with two very odd engine configurations, for a motorcycle at least. A V4 and a flat 6. Both the best at something. Not the best at everything, but both the best at something. Although I guess it could be definitely argued that the Goldwing is pretty good at everything it does, but it's definitely the best at touring. Looks like I'm gonna be a little jealous of Shay's windscreen here in a minute. There is definitely something ominous building on the horizon here. Bro, past the dump truck. This truck drives me nuts. Like, dude, not only are you hanging out in this dump truck's blind spot, but like, come on, dude, there's rocks flying off this thing. That ain't where you want to be. There we go. You can do it. Skinny pedal. Come on, Chief. I believe in you.
Great job.
Ooh, my old Odins. They served me well. They served me well. I don't feel bad about this. It's a collaboration. It's a partnership. You know, it's not a sponsorship. Even though they're technically sponsoring the ride back that we're doing, which is going to be in the videos after this. We're riding back from Portland. A second time for Shea Lisi. A tertiary time for me. Once again on two bikes that are being raffled off for Forgotten Angels. Donated by Jason from Sugar Tree Farm. And the trip, of course, well, you know, we're paying for that through this deal with Odin. And it's something I've been wanting to do with them for a long time. It just happened to line up really well with this trip right now. And like I said, we've been working on these gloves. We've been working on this collaboration for like almost 2 years. Our last ride in Tampa, so me and Shea Lisi might get soaked on it. Oh well. Oh, if my Insta360 wasn't dead before, it's definitely gonna be dead now. But yeah, it's dead for sure. Here we go. Let's hope I don't ice another GoPro along with the 360, which is just getting insult piled on top of injury right now. I think Shea Lisi made the right choice with the Goldwing, and you know, I got a little bit of a windshield, but I don't think it's gonna help me right now. Maybe I can just go so fast that the force of the air in front of me splits the rain apart. Is that possible? Funny about the VMAX and the Goldwing side by side is the VMAX engine actually started out life in the Yamaha Venture. This was a touring engine way before it was ever, well, not way before, but it was a touring engine before they ever thought about putting it in a muscle cruiser. The Venture was Yamaha's answer to the Goldwing back in the day. In the early 80s, once Goldwings started coming pretty much standard with all the plastic bodywork, the Interstate, the Aspen K, they'd established total dominance in long distance touring. They're the reason why the Harley-Davidson Road Glide, which they called the Tour Glide back then, got made. They're the reason the Yamaha Venture got made. Like, Goldwings really changed the face of touring motorcycles completely. And everyone was trying to make a long distance tour with a cool engine, because that flat four cylinder, the Goldwing, that was awesome. That was such a cool engine. Now Harley-Davidson stuck with their V-twin, obviously, with the Shovelhead beginning the Tour Glide and then the Evo coming later, but everyone else was wild, dude. The Kawasaki Voyager originally started life with an inline 6-cylinder, and of course the Yamaha Venture had the V4. A really neat time in motorcycles. A real shame what actually ended up happening to the Kawasaki Voyager. Just became another Harley clone eventually. And the Yamaha Venture, the Venture Royal Star, while it did eventually become like more of a Harley lookalike, a Harley clone, they actually kept the V4 in it. They just had an air-cooled, I think it was like air and water-cooled version of the V4 with like chromed fins and chrome pipes, kind of like Honda did with the Magna when they made it into a cruiser instead of like what it used to be. So at least they kept that V4 engine. That was pretty damn cool. You can say Goldwing changed the face of motorcycles back then, and everybody was trying to build a bike to beat the Goldwing, including Harley Davidson. Well, in that same respect, through the late 80s and the 90s, Harley Davidson put all those guys to rest, and they all eventually got discontinued because they all tried to be more like Harley instead of trying to be more like the Goldwing, and they all went away. Well, guess who's still here? The Goldwing. So that tells you something, man. A slightly cheaper copy, even if it's better quality, usually never wins in the end. And I really think it all has to do with the character of those engines. The character of the flat 4 and then the flat 6. And I think Yamaha, you know, they stuck with the V4, but then they made it look like a Harley Davidson. They just made it look like a street glide. Although I will tell you, the new fixed fairing Ventures that Yamaha came out with, I actually love the way those things look. What an awesome looking motorcycle. Definitely still doing their own thing, man. I think Yamaha, if they had kept on that track and if they hadn't made it look like a street glide or an electric glide, and they had kept with their own design and their own styling and kept with the V4 and kept making it better, I think that the Yamaha Venture would still be around today competing with the Goldwing. It's funny because nowadays everybody kind of uses the term, it's got an electric-like feeling to like as a compliment to an engine, but I will tell you, electric-like feeling ain't got no character, man. When something takes off like the frickin' V-Max does with the V-Boost like that, dude, this is an engine that's got character. It feels like you're on a dang two-stroke. There's something to be said for the massive amounts of torque that both engines that feel electric and electric engines make, but just the character of a weird power band that hits at the top like it's turbocharged or it's a two-stroke coming on the pipe, that cannot be denied. Maybe that's why, for me, the closer a motorcycle becomes to perfect, the less interesting it is to me. Now, the closest to perfect motorcycle that's still very interesting to me is, of course, the Goldwing. But that's because of the engine, baby. The engine's just so quirky, man. Like, after all these years, Honda's still using a flat 6? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. Now, the Goldwing's still using a... The Goldwing's still using a flat 6 after all these years, and that's part of the appeal. Everything about that motorcycle is perfect, and the engine is absolutely amazing too. I'm not saying it's not an amazing engine, but it doesn't need to be a flat 6. They're working around the heritage of the motorcycle and keeping it that way. They could have changed to something more efficient and better years ago, but they didn't. And I really think that's what makes the Goldwing special, because anybody else could make the same motorcycle, couldn't they? That flat 6 and the fact that it was a flat 4 and they just kept upgrading the engine configuration. I really love that about the bike. Let's see if we can outrun this storm. I don't know what it is, dude. Not a lot gets me mad, but when I'm getting rained on and I can see blue skies, that's kind of annoying. Is there no justice in the world? All right, that's more like it. I'm going to be getting more than enough time in my rain gear on a cross-country trip, but probably a bunch of times where I don't have time to put it on and I get soaked. If I can avoid it before we go, I'm going to. This is so crazy to see Haley C riding that Goldwing. It really looks wild. So it's both like a tiny on it and completely at home all at the same time. Pretty amazing feat for a motorcycle like that. We need to get some riding in before we left because I don't like to go a day without riding, but before we go to Portland, we got a lot of work to do. Might be running a little low on time here, but that doesn't mean we ain't getting all the shirts and all the stickers and everything else you guys ordered off of Brapstar packed up and sent out before we go. Now, we are going to have someone helping us send them out while we're away, but I wanted everyone who ordered in the pre-order and who ordered over the weekend, I wanted to make sure that they all got their stuff before we hit the road, because it's good to have good friends. It's good to have people who are going to help you out when you're not around and help us send the orders. I love that, and I feel very fortunate and blessed that I have friends that will help us do that. But I still like to pack most of the orders myself. I don't know if that's just because I want to give it a special touch and I like to say the person's name out loud when I pack the order, or if it's because I'm a weird control freak megalomaniac. One or the other, I guess it doesn't matter. This video is coming out on Sunday, but if you made an order before we left on Wednesday, me and Shay Lisi packed it. thunderbolts and lightning. Very, very frightening. It keeps threatening to rain, although it hasn't actually rained here yet. I've got a very fast Yamaha right there. I've got a very not working Honda chopper right there. And I've got a V65 Magna on the lift that goes real fast, but it doesn't stop. I really want to try the Honda Magna and the Yamaha VMAX back to back. So I'm gonna do a little work on that V65, even though I'm leaving literally tomorrow for Portland. I don't know, man. I still want to take a ride on it tonight so I can ride that and the VMAX in the same day. But for right now, it's Gold Wing time. Hey. Oh, crap, dude. It is lightning out real bad right now. I didn't quite make it back from the store without getting rained on, but let me tell you what, sometimes you gotta roll the dice in Florida when it comes to motorcycles, and even though I'm getting wet, it's always worth it. Definitely working with a little bit of a limited space here because I really don't want to put any of these other bikes out in the rain, but I'm not gonna complain because I still have a garage, and that's a lot more than some people have. First up on this V65, like I said, it goes real fast, it don't stop real fast. These front rotors are completely warped and destroyed, so they're gonna need to be replaced. Kudos to Honda, man. They got this front fender on here tight, dude. These pads are almost done too, but I got new ones. I'm just a little bit sketched out because I couldn't find new rotor bolts, and they look like they're proprietary to this bike, like they're specialized bolts. So I'm gonna pull them out, and if they're just regular like machine Allens, I can replace them with something else, I will, but I think they're actually specific to the V65 and I could not find any. I mean, I could find some, but the ones I could find were used, which tells you about how available they are. That is definitely a point in the VMAX's favor. It definitely doesn't feel like it was tight enough, if I'm going to be honest with you. Feels like rotor bolts should be a lot tighter than that. These things are really loose, if you ask me. Makes me think they did not have any Loctite on them. They certainly don't feel like they did. Yeah, just like I thought, these are like proprietary bolts. It looks like it had Loctite on them at one point in their life, but not recently. I don't believe that these rotors were slotted stock. That tells me somebody actually added these rotors later. Either way, they're toast. These definitely look a lot more like what would have come on it stock. Not that I really care. I don't know if it's overkill or not, but I've never heard of any rotor bolt that doesn't get some red Loctite. I used my finely calibrated elbow on that one. Good and tight, baby. Don't tell Shelby. Go ahead and call that one pretty dusty. Okay, time to pay attention to the rear brake because, yeah, that has nothing at all. I tried bleeding it to see if it just had a big air bubble in it, but I couldn't actually get anything to come through the system at all. So a couple different things might be happening, but I think I probably just have a completely roached master cylinder. Master cylinders can develop an internal leak with the seals busting them that can cause what's happening right now. Oh, luckily, a new master cylinder is pretty damn cheap. You know, getting everything in and out of here, that might not be so easy. Just looking at this, I can tell somebody's definitely done this before, but with the wrong tools. Well, I thought I was going to be able to finish it, but alas, I have the wrong parts. This has a proprietary master cylinder that is different from most Hondas. mainly due to the shaft right here, which only fits in this master cylinder. I could probably take it apart and see if I can make the shaft work in another master cylinder, but instead of doing that, I just went ahead and ordered a rebuild kit for this master cylinder. Unfortunately, that means I leave for Portland tomorrow, and the V65 Magna is gonna have to wait for another day for its head-to-head face-off with the Yamaha VMAX. But it's a day I'll be looking forward to. Alright, just got back from the gym. Yes, I'm still going to the gym. Just stopped making my Friday videos because honestly, it was really just too much work. I just didn't have time to make a third video a week. I really wanted to, but it just wasn't feasible at this time. And especially leading up to this trip that we're taking, the cross-country trip and everything that's going on. We just had a lot of stuff on our plate. It's all good stuff, so I have little to complain about. But yes, I'm still going to the gym. Yes, I'm still working out. And yes, it's still making me feel really, really good, even when I really don't want to go to the gym, which I didn't want to go this morning. But every time I do go, I come back home and I feel super motivated. And I feel so motivated and so powerful that I'm just gonna go ahead and ride around that V65 with no rear brakes, because I'm not leaving for Portland until I ride that thing. In my post-workout excitement, just so excited to ride my V65, rushing out here, I'm gonna ride it. I don't care. I forgot that I'm an asshole. You know, when you're an asshole, it's easy to forget you're an asshole. Yeah, I left every single tool out I used and the bike like partially disassembled. So even though I'm gonna ride it without a rear master cylinder, I'm pretty sure I still have to put the exhaust hangers back on it. But I said I was gonna ride it, so let's go. Now let's do something unheard of. Let's put some tools away. 40 years old, 120 horsepower, suspect brakes, leaking suspension. What the hell could go wrong? Sucker starts right up though. Not bad for a 40-year-old carbureted motorcycle. Yeah, definitely not bad for a 40-year-old motorcycle. And I'm leaking gas again. The last time, that was because the fuel pump wouldn't stop pumping. Having raw fuel dripping on the gas cannot be good for this motorcycle. God, I don't know which is faster. I don't know if it's this bike or the VMAX. And maybe it's just the whole V-Boost thing, it kicking in late, that makes the Magna feel faster. Because I think on paper, the VMAX makes more horsepower. But the Honda, it's got that flat torque line. And even though it does feel faster, I will tell you, the VMAX is a much more interesting bike to ride. I don't know, man. It's going to be a hard choice. I really don't know which one I prefer, man. I'll tell you what I do like is having choices. And I bet with some decent suspension, this Magna, it's got the ground clearance to really handle great. That's something that the Max is really hurting in, is ground clearance. And this Magna, man, dude, this is a high rider. Now, the suspension is pretty wonky on it right now, but with the right suspension, this thing could be awesome. I don't know if the VMAX will ever have the frame geometry to be an awesome handling bike. Although right now, yeah, take your hands off, it goes immediately into a speed wobble because the front suspension is jacked and the fork seals are blown. I'm pretty sure it also needs neck bearings. Just basically everything that could be wrong is wrong, including a massive fuel leak. Well, the front brakes are really working great though, so we got that going for us. And even though I put new rotors and pads on this thing, I'm probably gonna go ahead and take those calipers back off when I get back and rebuild the calipers too. They look pretty old and musty, and it's just, I should do it, you know, and I really should have gotten this stuff to rebuild them the first time, but this stuff costs money, man. It's not cheap to buy all the stuff to rebuild the calipers. Baby, this thing's a rocket ship, man. I don't know, dude. This would be a tough choice. I'm gonna have to do another video when I have this one back, like where it really is ready to fight, because right now it wants to put up a fight, dude. It's still going fast, but it ain't ready to fight the Max, that's for sure. That VMAX is just out of control, man. That thing is really ready to go. Everything on it works perfectly. And this one, man, it's an old prize fighter that's kind of down on its luck. It's still got a freaking hell of a right hook, though. But we'll get it back into fighting shape, man, and then we're gonna put them head to head. Ooh, glad I got those front brakes fixed. Let's get this thing home before the gasoline turns it into a full Phoenix. Unfortunately, I don't think anything would rise from the ashes. Why not? It's early. I'm still on a high from the gym. I want to ride them both. It's hard to tell which one has more power. The Honda just feels like it comes on so much stronger, but you know, that's the V-Boost. That's part of what makes this motorcycle so interesting to ride. Oh, Chief. Just trying to do VMAX stuff here. Holy mackerel, slow down. Damn, dude. This bike, this bike is nuts. Yeah, I don't know which one is faster. It's very hard to tell. I will tell you that the Magna, even with its busted up suspension, is definitely the more nimble bike. It's a better handling motorcycle, but the VMAX might have it in the motor, man. It might have it in straight line. And this one isn't, I said it's, you know, perfect. It's actually not. The carburetors need to be adjusted. They need to balance. And I know Joe's got that magic touch, man. Joe, the Mountain Jedi, is gonna get his greasy little piggies all over this thing, and then it's really gonna rip. I mean, it handles like okay. But that straight line, that's what this thing likes to do, baby. Oh, it's hard to say, man. It's hard to say. Like, if you just ride the Magna regular, like you're riding a regular bike, but kind of spirited, and you ride the VMAX regular, kind of spirited, Magna feels faster. It feels faster under just like regular, kind of like semi-aggressive throttle use. But the VMAX, dude, once you crank that sucker wide open, dude, it takes it. I really think it takes it. Just don't crack it wide open right before a turn, okay? You're gonna find its shortcomings real quick, which I know a lot of people did, man, because it'll get away from you, dude. It's an arm stretcher. All of a sudden, you get that whiskey throttle when the V-Boost kicks in, and a turn's coming up fast, and it's pulling your arms out of your socket, and you're in a whole heap of trouble, son. You know what, though, baby? I like trouble. All right. I'm leaving for 3 weeks here in a few hours, so I should probably pack. I haven't even packed yet. Yeah, I should probably do that.
Next time on the Shade Tree Surgeon channel.
As per usual, I am
Woefully unprepared.
I don't know about this GPS, man. Come on, man. This is fucking ridiculous. Bro, 1 mile. 1 mile is what I need. I don't know exactly where she is, so I'm just gonna try to retrace my steps and cross my fingers. There's like steps here. You're supposed to go down this part. Of them are XR650Rs. Why does the jalapeno scream?
Free time.
All right, you win.
Oh, shut up.
$500.
$500, dude.
Thank you for donating to the Forgotten Angels. That's such a philanthropic thing to do. I can't believe you would just do that.
I don't know. Hopefully somebody's bike sets on fire or something like that, you know? Someone we don't like.
Crashing through the sky comes a fearful cry. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Armies of the night, evil taking flight. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Panic spreading far and wide. Can the world oppose the deadliest of foes? Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Who will risk it all to end the evil call of Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. They never give up, They never say die, walking tall with banners high.
Shade Tree Army, a ruthless gang of scum, villains, freaks, and bikers determined to rule the world.